Welcome to another video, A Walk with Phil, and today I'm in Smethwick. I thought today I'd have a look down in SMETHWICK High Street, and I haven't been down there for some time now, so I thought I'd go and have a look and see what it looks like these days. Heading towards the High Street here in Smethwick. Smethwick had enormous economic prosperity from the early 1800s, and that economic prosperity was matched by civic pride, which was expressed in its buildings, such as the Council House, which is the lower part of the High Street, which we'll have a look at in a bit, which was built in 1905. Some of the first public baths in England, that was built in Rolfe Street in 1888, and you know, there's several others. And also, of course, there's the park, Victoria Park, which we'll also look at in a bit. But before we go along the High Street here in Smethwick, I thought we'd begin our journey here in St Paul's Road. There's this place here. It used to be the Empire Cinema. In fact, it didn't begin life as a cinema. It opened in 1910. It was originally a theatre. And it wasn't until 1930 before it became a cinema. You can see what a big building it is on the corner of St Albans Road. It did finally close to being a cinema in 1957, and it still looked like a cinema right up until 1971, when they finally converted it into shops. And now it's I don't know now, is it a Sikh temple or is it an Asian education centre? It has a gold dome on the top. The Smethwick High Street now has got that very uneven look about it, because all along here to my left would have been shops, businesses, maybe some residential properties, but with the road redevelopment of the Toll House Way, created in the late 70s, early 80s, it was a time of huge redevelopment, and all the buildings all along here to my left were all dismantled, destroyed, demolished, and in its place now we've got this kind of landscaped area of paving and benches and trees. But you see, you've got all these shops here to my right, you've got the High Street here, and then here we got kind of nothing, and just beyond that grass bank there we've got the main dual carriageway, the Toll House Way, which goes towards Birmingham city centre. These shops have always looked a little odd as they lay back off the road in a kind of diagonal line. Many of the frontages, especially the tops of them, look a little bit run down now. I'm not going to name all the shops, obviously. You can just see yourself what shops we've got along the High Street these days. We're here on a Friday morning. You'd expect it to be a little busy. This particular part of the High Street, right to the junction by the Gurdwara Temple, is known to be very busy, especially when buses stop and all the traffic behind gets backed up, you know. You can see a lot of old buildings along here. Just this particular part here to my right now is all full of fruit and veg stores. Yeah, we've got a Bobby's supermarket license. Back in the day you'd have greengrocers and grocers and butchers and florists and craft shops, knitting shops, pet shops, I don't know, you'd have all these sorts of stores, and pubs of course as well here and to my left, but sadly we don't get none of that now. Those sort of shops are a thing of the past. Yeah, that one over there, the High Food Store, and of course Bobby's supermarket. Lots of pallets of fruit and veg strewn across the pavements. This one, the High Food Store in particular, seems to be doing a pretty brisk trade. and Chaka Khan's as well next to it. And well, I don't know what we're doing here, but right on the corner here, pallets of onions, bags of them, of onions on the corner of the road. Hardware centre there, that's pretty popular, that one. There's a shop there called Seasons. Above it we've got Merry Christmas. It's summer. About to walk in the road. We've got construction workers on the pavement drilling a hole. We've got cars here parked all on double yellows. So as a pedestrian I've had a bit of an issue trying to get along the pavement. And yeah, and we've got this building there in white. It's quite a high building, 3 stories, not sure what it used to be. This looks a bit of an eyesore. Mustafa's here on the corner, another fruit and veg. There's Ford Street up there. Yeah, you can see there's a place there called Blue Gates. I'm not sure if that's trading anymore. A far more famous place, Blue Gates, just there to my right. The Blue Gates Inn. It's been there since 1850, but it was replaced in 1932. We've got the toll house here on my left. This building was built in 1797, replaced in 1818. It used to make a huge amounts of money, this place, with windows all around, with its windows all the way around the building. The toll house keeper would have a clear sight of who was coming down the road and would be getting ready to get the money. Here we got the Smethwick Library here on the right. The entrance to the library now is just down there now where it says library. It used to be the main door there, the red door, but they've done away with that entrance now. This used to be the original council house of Smethwick. Yeah, it's quite an ornate building, but it lost its status as the council house when the new council house was built down the lower part of the high street next to the park in 1905. But it was little used, and then it became the library in 1927. In fact, Smethwick was a proud independent town until all this merging began, especially in 1966 when Smethwick was part of the newly created Worley and also became part of West Bromwich, and in 1974 West Bromwich and Smethwick both became part of the new borough of Sandwell. Here is like a shopping centre through there. It used to be a Tesco through there, but it's something called Star Supermarket now, and when you look at it, it looks a bit like Spar, but it is in fact Star. Back in the day, early 1900s, it was said that there was very few architectural buildings of note in Smethwick, and so they built this place. As you can see, it was quite an ornate building. It was the Lloyd's Bank. It's all a lot of scaffolding outside now, so I dare say there's going to be some flats there on the corner of Brewery Street, which also had another large bank. It was the HSBC. Previous to that, it would have been the Midland Bank. Up there is Brewery Street. Brewery Street is also part of that kind of a retail area, but there used to be foundries up there, both left and right, called the Beehive Foundry, Iron Founders. Just to show you up there, there's Rolfe Street ahead of me. I'm going to take you down Rolfe Street one of these days. It's a very historical road, and it does house the railway station, Smethwick Railway Station. Just to pan you down to Smethwick High Street on this newly built dual carriageway from the late 70s, early 80s, Toll House Way. I'm not sure what they're going to do with the HSBC building. If Lloyd's building looks like flats, maybe this will be the same. Here's the Gurdwara Temple, Sikh Temple here. Used to be a congregational church was on this site up until 1961. Where you got the flags, there, where all those railings are. That once used to be the Princess Cinema. Just been well landscaped just here, commemorating the lines of the Great War. Yeah, just there where that gap is there, where the flags are. That was the site of the Princess Cinema. It was actually opened in 1912. The Princess, it was Princess Hall when it was first opened. 1912. In 1930, it became the Prince's. And it was almost blown up during the Second World War when there was a foundry that used to be behind the Princess Cinema called Sam Smith Foundries, and that they took the hit. But as the bomb hit the foundry, girders come flying out from the factory and smashed through the roof of the Princess, causing extensive damage. But it all got repaired, and finally it got reopened as a cinema again. But by 1970, its final film was Carry On Cruising, and then from 1971 it was mainly open for Indian films, and by 1994 it had finally closed. It just lay there for a while, and in 2001 it was finally demolished. And now the site is used by the Sikh temple. As you can see, the temple has now extended to Talbot pub on the corner here. I'm not sure if that's still trading. Yeah, just through there's the Holy Trinity Church. It was built in around 1837. Created an outdoor pulpit in 1913. Not sure if it's still there though. There used to be the offices for the DSS used to be over there as well. But anyway, we look at the high street here, and you can see the junction ahead of me, but it didn't have a junction here back in the day, because the high street would continue its way along here, and I'm on the pavement here, but this South Road would join the high street just here. As the high street would come along this way, along here, and kind of join this part of the high street round about here, just before we get to the job centre, which is on the left. All this was all new and changed around when they built the Toll House Way. But now we continue our route along the high street. I think this used to be some kind of car showroom here. It used to be full of cars in there, but it's called Veggie Fellas, a vegetarian restaurant. Part of the high street doesn't seem as prosperous as the other end, but where we got Roslyn Close there ahead, there'd be all buildings and shops all around, and it would curve round along the high street that we've just been down. But from here, Regency Street right up to Rolfe Street, they all got demolished. There's the job centre there. Yeah, there's Regent Street. Methodist Church up there on Regent Street. Well, I don't know, this building here, I don't know what this was, but it looks a big, it says the Abrahamic Foundation, big old house there. Just there on the right, there's the old police station. It's been there since 1902. In this day and age, when all the police are moving into big, huge, swanky police headquarters these days, that one's still there since 1902. It looks like a place of worship, doesn't it now, this big place, this big building on the corner. Come to a crossroads here where we've got Crockett's Lane to my left. Yeah, Crockett's Lane is the road for a very large college. Well, it was a municipal college. It was set up in the late 19th century. Before it became the Chancellor's Technical College. You can just see it ahead of me. If you can see past all these cars here, you can kind of see it just here. Yeah, that's it. It's still there. The building's still there. It was Chance's Technical College in 1945 before it became part of the Sandwell College, and it was last used in 2012. Cooper's Lane here. As we continue our walk along the High Street in Smethwick, there's a building there with it says Brushstrokes Community Project. Not sure what it used to be. We've got a huge 5G mast outside the building. These telephone masts back in the day used to be disguised in trees and placed on very high buildings. Now they're just planted anywhere along high streets and towns, cities now, becoming major eyesores. There's a very old buildings here now on my left of the high street. It's like a higgledy-piggledy type of row with mainly food outlets. We've got a food centre there and Chinese takeaway there. A Desai Sweet Centre next to that, and we've got just here we've got the Red Cow pub. Yeah, just passing the Red Cow, and I'm looking at this place, the Red Cow. It's got this. It's like this building likes to give a few orders. We've got a few signs out here. We've got warning at the top there, which has restricted parking. Underneath we've got CCTV in operation. This is a drugs-free area, and we've got a bit of a menu on there. Just there we've got another restricted parking sign, and we've got a notice here which says these benches are for the sole use of patrons using the pub. We've got another sign saying CCTV. This is drugs-free area. We've got another sign here that says vehicles and contents are left entirely at owner's risk. And we've got one here saying restricted parking up there, and underneath it's only for customers of the Red Cow, and no parking, keep clear. Drugs-free signage through there, no parking over there. Oh my goodness. I don't know. It doesn't seem a very free and easy type of place, does it? Yeah, more fruit and veg over there. Yeah, we got the Punjabi Sweets and Curry House. Just panning around. Look at these stores here to my left. Turkish barber here. It's Victoria Avenue. And now here we have the council house that was built in 1905 to 1907. Its frontage is covered by the trees, so we can't really have a good look at this frontage. Here I'm on Furs Lane, so if I can see if I can get film the front for you, where the steps are that leads you into the main front of the building. And you can see there's a step as you go into the main front of the building. Yeah, as I said, built in 1905, 15 bay frontage, and it's a Grade 2 listed building, as you'd expect. All around Smethwick, the backs of the High Street, down Watery Lane for instance, and the road ahead of me, Cheshire Road, are all terrace properties. And we've got a restaurant and grill here. Okay, we're going to risk our life and cross this road now to check out the park, which is ahead of me. Victoria Park has been here since, well, we started building this place in about 1887, which was the year of Queen Victoria's Jubilee. It was opened 2 years later in 1889. There's the War Memorial. This kind of ends High Street in Smethwick. As we look ahead now, up there, that road, this road here, to my left, goes up towards Cape Hill, and the one just over this area there, that will take you into the Bearwood area of Smethwick. As we come out of the main gates of the Victoria Park, you see this building. It says the Cheshire Nurses Home with a date on it of 1903, but it's still a very smart looking building. It looks as though it's well kept and well maintained. It's got the Edward Cheshire House, and it's got Sandwell Carer Centre. Sandwell Carer Centre on a main board now, so I'm not sure if it's anything to do with Edward Cheshire anymore. I'm not going to go all around the park, obviously. I'm just going to go through the front of these gates. It just says on one of the pillars that it was 2002, the Golden Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II was marked by the planting of 5 oak trees in this park. Shall we go and find the 5 oak trees? No, I don't think I will. It's a very hot day today. Yeah, there's the lodge, which most parks would have, a lodge. When this was built and opened in 1889, it boasted a boating lake, a bandstand, and you would have tennis courts and bowling greens. But I think around about the 1970s, the park itself began to deteriorate, beginning to get run down. So a little bit of investment ensured they managed to get a new bandstand. It also had an outdoor gym, and also here with the lodge, they've turned this into a kind of heritage centre, and there's the heritage centre just here, and they're attached to the lodge, and they usually have exhibitions and stuff in there. And so, yeah, that's Victoria Park for you. Okay, so there we have it then. Let's finish with our little walk down the high street here in Smethwick. For many of you who've not been around these parts since maybe, I don't know, maybe the 1970s, early 80s, there's certainly some major changes along the way. It's still a very crowded, very busy type of street, and yeah, but the park where I am at the moment is a rather pleasant place to be, I'm sure. But other than that, I don't know. Smethwick, like many other towns, doesn't have that feel of prosperity anymore. Has more a feel of being a bit run down, if to be fair. But anyway, if you like the video, hit the like button and also hit subscribe, and also hit the notification bell for future videos, and I'll see you on the next one.